video we will build a simple chat app using React. Before I show you the app, I would like to remind you that this video can be combined with other videos. So if you want to use React with any of these backend frameworks, check the links in the description of this video. Also make sure to check scalablescripts.com for more courses. Now let's see the app that we will build. So this is the app. I opened two browsers, one in Chrome and one in Safari, so we can send messages to the other browser. So if I send here hi, you can see the message also on Safari as well. And if I write here hello there, you will see the message appear here also. So this is a simple version of the app which will be available on YouTube. If you want, the more advanced version of the app will be available in scalablescripts.com. So this is the advanced version. We can see that we can create a 2 people room and multiple people room. We can send messages, we can send images, and we can also use the pagination here. Also, each user is logged in as well. And we have a search box here where we can filter the rooms. Now let's build this app. Now it's time to create the frontend using the React library. So open a terminal and run npx create React app, and I will call it React Websockets. Now let's wait till it's completed. So the installation finished. Now open the project using our IDE. Open the terminal here and run npm start. So React will start on port 3000. And this is our first React app. Now let's change the HTML of this app. First, let's go to getbootstrap.com and copy this command here. So let's install Bootstrap. I'll open a new tab here, npm install Bootstrap here. When it finishes, go to app.js. So let's remove this app.test.js. And here we will remove the imports with importing the Bootstrap CSS. This is the path. And I will remove the code here. I will replace it with a div that has a class name of container, and inside I will have a div with a class name of row, and this will have two divs, one div with a class name of call -3 and the other one with a class name of call -9. So we will split the screen into two parts. This will be for the sidebar and this will be for the chat content. So let's add the sidebar. Go to getbootstrap.com again, click examples, and in the examples we go to the sidebar here. And this is what we want. So I will inspect and I will copy this code here and I will paste it inside call -3. And that should be it. Let's check the app. So we see some errors. This xlink href, I think we have to remove it. So I will remove the entire anchor link here. We don't need it. We don't need also the width here, 380 pixels. And for this, all the anchor links, let's keep only one. So I will remove all of them and let's keep only one. And this is what we got. So they will stack with each other. So if I add a second one, we'll see like this. I guess there is a class here which is active. Let's not make them active. And it will look like this. So this will be the users in our chat app where we can select one user or a group and to communicate with them. So we added the left sidebar of the chat app. Now let's finish all the rest. So for the left sidebar, I will keep it only one here, and I will rename this values. This will be John Doe. So this will be the user that we will communicate, and this will be the last message of that user. It will look like this, and Wednesday here is correct. Now for the other part, I will add here a class of border, so we can add a border around the app. Now it does not look that well, because we have to add a class on this call3 here, which is VH100. So this will make possible that the height of this sidebar is the whole page. So as we can see, the right side is has a border, and now let's add 3 parts for the right side, which are this. The first one is a div with an ID of head. I will add here class names of py, padding on the vertical side 3. This class and the border bottom. So this border here. Now let's add the conversation div. Which I won't add anything at the moment. And the last one is not a div but a form. I will add for the form an ID of reply. And let's add some class names. Padding 3, and width is 100. Inside we will add a div with a class name of input group, because we will have just an input here. We will have also later on the upload file input as well here, but for the moment let's add only one. So let's add class name here from control, and a placeholder of write a message. So let's see how it looks like. So we can see here write a message, but it is on top. We want it on bottom. So for all these IDs, let's add some styles. So let's go to our, first of all, we don't need app.css, so I will remove it. Let's go to our index.css, and here let's add the styles. I will paste the styles. So the head will have a height of 50 pixels. The reply will have a height of 70 pixels, and the rest will be the conversation, which I calculate the whole screen minus the combination of these two, which is 120 pixel. And if we see it like this, we will see that the input is down here, and this will resemble a chat app. So let's add also in the head message here, like strong, with a class name of margin bottom 1, and this will show the members of this chat. I will manually write them. So John Doe and Jane Smith. It will look like this. So these are the members of this group. So once we select a group, we will see all the members here, and we can write messages. Now the last part are the actual messages that are sent. So that will happen in the conversation here. So let's do it. Let's add here a div with a class name of row, and we need two divs here with a class name of call6. So we need it like this because we don't want to be the whole screen when we write a message. It will cut it in the end, in the middle, sorry, not in the end. And inside here we will add the message, which is a div with a class name of alert, display inline block, and alert primary. Role will be alert. Hi. So this is the first message that we sent, and it will look like this. So it's attached to the top. So I will add here in the row padding top of 2. So as we can see, this is a message that was sent from one user. Now we need another message, so the message that is sent from the other user, I'll copy, and the other message will not be on this div, but it will be on the other one, and the alert will be alert success. So I will change the color of that input, and it will have a float end, and the message will be another message, and it will look like this. So these are also the messages, different color. If we send a message, it will appear here. If the other user send a message, it will appear here. So we completed the HTML part. Now it's time to send messages via socket.io. So the first step is to install socket.io client, and make sure also to start the backend in order to communicate with socket.io. It is installed, and now let's go to index.js, and here I will export a constant socket, which is equal to io, which we need to import it from socket.io client here, and we need to pass the URL, which is the WebSocket protocol, localhost, port 8080, sorry, and we don't have any options. So that's it. We need now to use this socket connection in our app.js. So before we add the socket connection, we need to make sure this form works. So the first step is to create two state variables. So one is message and one is set message is equal to use state. Default value is empty, and we need also the same for messages, plural, and this is an empty array. So the message is something that we send, and messages are all the history of the messages. Regarding the history of the messages, we have to loop them here. So in the conversation, I will uncomment the second one, comment, sorry, and we have to loop the first one. So messages, map, the message here, we have to return this HTML. We need to provide a key here, which is the actual message, and let's display the message here. And this will make it have no messages, but once we write a message, it will show it there. So when we submit now this form, so let's create a function submit, and this will have a event here which we will prevent default. So on submit we will call the submit function. So the prevent default is for not refreshing the page, and now on this input, when we change on change, we want to set the message which is event.target.value here. So when we submit, we do have also the message that we wrote here on that input, so we can send that to the socket. The way that we send the message currently is via an HTTP request to our backend. So to send an HTTP request, we need to install another package, Axios. So I will install it and I will import it here. So import Axios from Axios. I'll make this submit function asynchronous, and after we prevent default, we will await Axios. We will send a post request to HTTP localhost port 8000/API/message. So this was the endpoint of the backend app, and this will emit a socket.io message. We need to send also the message here, which they have the same name, so I can remove this. And that should be it. Now we also need to send the messages. So this will become an array that contains all the messages along with the message that we sent. And we will set the message to empty here. And that should be it. So let me try to send a message, test. We can see test here. However, this is not coming from the socket. It is coming from this set messages here. If I open a new tab, so I will open a new tab right now. We can see now two different tabs of our app running. And if I write again the message here, we can see only it appears on the left one and not in the right one. Because to appear on the right one, we need to use sockets. So let's do that. I will add here a use effect, and inside I will use socket, which I get it from index.js here. So don't forget to import it. And on message, this was the event that we defined in the backend. Inside it will have the message, and this will simply set messages. Actually, I will copy this one. It will be the same. So the list of messages, and not with message here, but this message that we get from the socket. And that should be it. In the end, we will return a function like this, because we subscribe to this event, but we have to also unsubscribe if we go to another page. And let's see how this will work. So as we can see, the message was sent in the other tab as well. So socket.io is working. And if we send a message from the other tab, this one gets it as well, even though not sure why the last one was removed. so we may have a bug on the messages part. I think what we need to do here on the set messages, we have to do it like this. This was the previous state of the messages and it will change to this one. I will do the same for this one, and this will make for a better transition. So let's see if that is the issue. I will refresh the both browsers, and if I write test here, it works. However, I'm getting duplicated here. I think I don't need these set messages here at all, actually. So when I send a message, I will get it from socket IO directly, not here. Let's do it again. Hi, we get the message both ways, and here, hi there, we get it here as well. So this is how it works. We need only one set message, and we have to do it like this, so these messages transition into this new state. Now what is left is to add a database, to add logins and many more stuff to this app.